Texas Homeschool Mama. Today we have special guests. Who's this?
Joaquin.
Joaquin's here today because today we're going to make a special recipe just for the harvest from this book entitled the Waldorf Kindergarten Snack Book. And so we're going to try a new recipe we've never made before, and they are apple cookies to go along with the books we've been reading about the harvest season and about apples, like Ana cultiva manzanas. Right, Joaquin?
Yeah.
All right. Before we get started, of course, let's say hi. So we're gonna sing our little welcome song. So it goes, down is the earth, up is the sky. There are my friends, and here am I. Good morning. Okay, so we're gonna tell you what you need to make these cookies. First of all, you're going to need some walnuts. What are these, Joaquin?
Bananas. Raisins.
Baking powder. Salt. Apple juice concentrate, which I've never used in cookies before, but we're gonna see how it turns out.
Honey.
Honey, show the honey. This is tahini.
Oatmeal.
Oats, yeah, quick oats. And corn flour. Okay, so first thing we gotta do is mix together the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients, okay? So we're gonna show. All right, everyone, so let's get ready to make these apple cookies. Here's a picture of the recipe, but I will take another image to attach down below, and I'll also post the actual recipe down below. So this is, of course, my first recipe I'm recording with y'all, so please give us a little bit of patience as we had a few issues. I meant to have an overview of everything being added to the bowl, but that didn't happen, so I'm just going to narrate it for you while you watch us do it from the side. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to take your banana and you're going to smush it up. We used a potato masher, and you see Joaquin's working at it pretty hard there. I eventually had to help him get it even mushier because, you know, it has to be a certain consistency. So mash that banana, and you need just one if you're doing just as the recipe calls for. And as he's getting that done, I am preparing the wet ingredients. So the wet ingredients include 2 cups of rolled oats, the 1 can of frozen apple juice concentrate, a very large spoonful of tahini, 1 very ripe banana mashed, and 1/3 cups honey, which you see is what I'm putting in there now. Okay. And so basically you're gonna have everything that's wet in there plus the oats. And it's gonna be not watery, but it's gonna be liquidy once you have it all mixed in. And then after that, you're going to start to get the dry ingredients ready. Now, if you are like me and you cannot consume gluten, which, don't get me wrong, I love gluten and I wish I could, but it doesn't like me back. You can substitute for corn flour, which is what we did in this recipe. But if you're not gluten intolerant, then you can go for regular wheat flour. And I think that might help a little bit because when our cookies came out, they seemed a little bit dry, and I just think it was maybe because of the corn flour itself. So, I mean, if you also use gluten-free flour, you can do that as well as a substitute. But the corn flour is just interesting. It was a different alternative for us. So mix all those ingredients up, and you can see we're getting the dry ingredients ready now. So the dry ingredients, you need 2 cups of whole wheat flour or corn flour or another type of gluten-free flour, a sprinkle of raisins, a sprinkle of walnuts, cinnamon to taste, and a sprinkle of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So get that all mixed up, and it's going to be pretty thick. The batter's going to be pretty thick when it's ready. And so you can then start forming the little balls of cookies. And I would also suggest that you try to make them pretty flat so that they cook more evenly. Ours were pretty thick when we put them in too, so that might have been another thing that changed things. All right, how's it going? You're gonna see us starting to form the balls soon. for the cookies. And there we go, we're starting to put them on. It's going to make about 24 cookies, so about 2 dozen. We actually filled up 2 trays, and it says to cook them between 15 and 20 minutes at 350. So make sure you have that oven preheated so you can just pop them in. And then I actually cooked mine a little bit longer, so I did about 21 minutes. Just check them as you go. Depends on if you like them to be golden brown, a little bit crispy, or softer. So once you have them all piled on the trays, stick them in, and then we're gonna have a few songs for you, or maybe even a little craft for you to do while they bake. All right, so we're gonna put the last few on the tray here, and then we're gonna do something fun. Alright, so while those apple cookies are baking, we're gonna do some fun stuff with apples. Let's read a little poem by Dear Betty Jones called Apple Secrets. It goes like this. Who would think an apple, red, gold, or green and round, would have a secret deep inside? When cut, it can be found. I thought this secret only shone in deep and darkest night, but when I cut my apple, it shines with 5 points bright. And now you know the secret, where shining stars are found in every crunchy apple, red, gold, or green and round. So cut open that apple and count those little points on the stars. The next thing you can do is something that I always love doing, and that is get some tempera paint and add it. You can add it with a paintbrush. And you're going to make a little apple stamp. So grab a piece of paper, stamp it down. We didn't do really great here on the camera, but once we took them down off of the little platform they were on, it was much easier to get those cool little prints on there. So add different colors, red, orange, green, the colors that represent this season, and have fun making your little apple prints. Thanks for cooking with us today with and Miss Rachel from Texas Homeschool Mama. We hope you enjoyed the video and have fun picking apples and eating them out there.
And strawberries and pizzas.
Strawberries and pizzas. Bye guys. What do you think, Ricky? What does it taste like?
Sweet.